Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lomzy. I'm back again with another video. Today's sewing tutorial is how to make a circles dress with flounce. If that's what you're looking for, continue watching till the end so that you will see how I made this beautiful dress. You guys can see how lovely this is. Yeah, if this is your first time coming across my channel, consider subscribing and hit on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my sewing tutorials. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. Thank you for always coming to watch and support. To make this shift dress with flounce, I'll be using 2.5 yards of satin. Any fabric that is slippery like this, you can use it to make this. So I have my fabric folded in 4 like this. As you can see, this is folded into 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. What I folded in 4 is 1 yard. Let me show you again. I have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this side have space and this side doesn't have. This side, the two of them are on fold. So I'm going to start by taking down the armhole length. The armhole length I'm using is 9.5 inches, and I'm going to mark it here. And connect the lines. Next, I'll be marking the shoulder line. So after connecting these lines, I'll go ahead and mark the shoulder line. The shoulder divided by 2. So the shoulder I'm working with is 8.5 inches. The shoulder I'm working with is 17 inches. Divided by 2 is 8.5 inches. I'll mark it there and then connect it to the armhole line. Next, I'm going to take the neck width. The neck width I'm working with is 3.5 inches. I'll mark it here, and then the neck depth I'm using for the back is 1 inch. I'll connect these lines like so to get the back neck curve. Then for the front, I'm using 4 inches. I'll mark it here and also connect this line. Then on the shoulder line, I'm going to be coming down 1.5 inches. I'll connect this line to the neckline. Don't mind me, this is shaky because I'm working straight on fabric. So on this line, I'm going to be getting the bust divided by 4, and I'll be adding 1 inch easing allowance and 1/2 inch sewing allowance to that. So that is what I have here. I'm going to mark the armhole curve like this. And for the front, I'm going to divide this line into 2, wherever that is. I'll mark it coming 1/2 inch, and with this 1/2 inch I'm going to mark the armhole curve for the front. So that will be the front and this will be for the back. Next, I'm going to get the length. I already have the length, but let me show you the length of the final flounce dress minus the flounce. So I'll draw an A-line shape for the side seam. So at the side, I'll be coming up 8 inches for the shape you have on the side. I'll come up here 8 inches. And I'm going to curve this line out. So make a nice curve here to your desired design. And then I'm going to cut this out. I'll then remove the back so that I'll be able to cut the front neckline and the armhole. So I'm going to cut this and the front. Next, I'm going to mark on the front panel. I'm going to be marking the length of the pocket where I'm going to be inserting my pocket. I'm going to take that down 10 inches. I have a video on how to make side pocket. If you want to learn how to make that, I'll be dropping it in the description section. So you go ahead and learn how to do that. So after cutting this, I'll be going to the sleeve. I have my fabric folded in 4. I have full video on how to make one sleeve block. I'll be dropping that, but I'll be running you through how I made this sleeve. So after folding it, I'll go ahead and mark the length I want for the sleeve. I'm going to minus the cuff I'm using. The cuff I'm using is 3 inches, so I'm going to mark that one out. So the sleeve length minus the cuff is what I have here. So I'm going to cut off this excess and start working on the sleeve so you don't get confused. So I'll set this aside. Now the sleeve head I'm working with is 5 inches. I'm going to mark it here. And then for the width of the sleeve is round my sleeve measurement divided by 2 plus sewing allowance and easing allowance. That's what I have here. So now here I'm going to divide this angle like this into 2. This diagonal I've made, I've divided it into 2. With this I'm going to get the shape of the sleeve. So I will connect it and pass here and then go under like that. Like I said, I have a full video on how to cut one sleeve block, so you go ahead and learn how to do that. At the hem of the sleeve, I'm going to come in 1 inch to give the sleeve shaping. You can come in 1.5 or 2 inches depending on the shape of the sleeve you want. And then for your cuff, to determine the cuff, you have to measure around this place. Yeah, here is what you're going to measure like this. Whatever you get, that's what you're going to be using for the cuff. So for mine, I got 9 inches. I'm going to add some sewing allowance to that and cut out what I'm going to be using. So here I'm cutting out 10 or 11 inches. So for the width of the cuff, I'm going to double that and add sewing allowance to that and cut that out. So for the width, I want 3 inches, so I'm going to be cutting out 7 inches, meaning 3 inches for the cuff and ½ inch for the sewing allowance. So I have 2 of them like this. When you fold it, you'll be getting the 3 inches, so that's how it's going to be. For the flounce, I have 30 inches fabric here. I folded it into 2 like this. I'm going to fold it again. So salvage to fast salvage, I folded it and folded it again into 4 like this, and I'm going to fold it again to now make it 8 inches, 8 folds. So that is what I have here. You can see this side is on fold, full fold, 4 pieces there. So I'm going to cut it there and cut the length of the flounce. So to get the radius, I'll be measuring the lower part of the hem of the shirt. Whatever I have, I'm going to times that by 2 because it's on fold, and then I'm going to get the radius of it, which is whatever I have gotten divided by 6.28, and I'm going to mark it here. So what I have is 5 inches. I'll mark 5 inches all around to make the radius. So after getting the radius, I'm going to get the length of the flounce. So the length of the flounce I'm going to be using will be 9 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch joining allowance and hemming allowance to that, which is 10 inches, and that's what I have here. I'm going to take it all around and mark. So I'm going to open this out and now cut the side seam. Remember, I folded this in 8. So I'll show you when I open it out. I'm going to cut out the side. I'm going to cut this open like I told you and show you how the flounce looks. And with this, we have come to the end of today's sewing tutorial. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our sewing tutorials. So see you on my next video. Bye bye.